On today's episode of Titus and Tate, the Emoni Bates saga continues. Will it ever end?
Never.
The answer is no.
But the real question and the real answer and the real conversation is that classes start at colleges around this time of the year. We are in August. It is creeping
Well, don't
up.
give away the.
Okay, yeah, you're right. But I'm just saying.
We're gonna tease it.
We're going to talk
We've
about
cracked the case.
The Hardy Boys are back. You know what I mean? In basketball, we're talking about it. We got another mystery on our hands, the Emoni Bates mystery.
The Emoni Bates mystery. Yes. Where is Emoni Bates going to go? I pulled up the. I did something I swore I'd never do. In fact, I did two things I swore I'd never do, which is continue to talk about Emoni Bates before he plays a second in college basketball. Already failed that.
Yep.
And not look up the recruiting rankings, which I, as you might remember, Tate, I pulled up a list and Emoni Bates was like 5th or 6th or whatever, and I was like, wait, what?
Yes.
And I said, I'm hashtag done with recruiting rankings. I'm sad to report I'm back on 247sports.com.
Is he number 1?
He has moved up. He's at number 4 now.
That's how you move up. You just keep waiting. But
I was going to point out, I scrolled through the recruiting rankings on 247sports.com, and here's what I have. Here's the journalism I did. And there's a kid named AJ Neal who's West Oaks Academy in Orlando, Florida. He is non-applicable, which I don't know what the hell that means. Is he like quitting? I'll have to look into that a little more. Didn't do good enough journalism. Everyone else, though, the point is
committed.
Is committed.
Yes.
Emoni Bates is the one holdout, and we're looking at the top 150. Let me refresh here. Oh, we got the top 200 now.
Wow.
Maybe they're I don't know. But anyway, point
because
is.
School
starts.
You have to go to school to play college basketball.
So we will investigate and discuss the Emoni Bates mystery. Another mystery going on. An outbreak.
Yes.
In Durham, North Carolina, of a thing called Legionella. You are the Coach K whisperer.
And I did talk to Coach K that day that it happened.
Whoa.
That is what a lot of people were upset about. They're saying, what did you do? How did you make this happen? It wasn't me.
At the K Academy, there was an outbreak of some disease nobody's ever heard of, but given the time that we live in right now, Tate, just the word disease outbreak in and of itself.
Yes.
Was it even an outbreak? I don't
Contagion.
know. It was like a possible exposure, but that's enough for us. That's enough.
And
Coach
Zion
K
was there that day. So we're happy to report Zion's okay.
A lot of mysteries going on. We're gonna have some fun today. We hope you do too. But first,
Woody Durham.
all right, let's make it happen here, Tate. What first of all, how was your weekend?
Great weekend.
Little small talk.
Yeah, little small talk at the top. I was supposed to go to the Chargers game on Sunday.
That's what I was getting at. Spoiler alert! I kind of Trojan horsed you there because
you knew what was supposed to happen.
I was just setting you up. I wanted to talk about the Chargers.
I watched it on television because I always support my Chargers. It was a great game. Asante Samuel Jr. got an interception in this game. Very excited about that. Again, I was supposed to go, but I was not in my normal seats. I was going to be in club level seats because I got my tickets, too late. My seats were already sold. So I didn't go because I wanted to go just for my experience. You know what I mean? I wanted to go and sit in my section and live my Chargers experience because I was a little scared, Titus. I have to admit.
Not my Chargers experience.
Well, if I went and sat in the club level and had this amazing club level experience, then I go to my seats and I'm saying, what is this? Like, this is not what I signed up for. Exactly. Yeah. I've been hoodwinked, and now if I go to the game, I sit in my section. So,
are you worried at all that the tickets you bought for the season, which by the way, we're off to a great start. You're already justifying not going to games. I see this being a continuous theme.
Yes.
Like, traffic that day was bad. Are you at all worried as we move forward in this NFL season, or as the first home game happens? I mean, are you worried at all that you're going to be put in the section with like the insane people? Like, I'm not even just the people that fight, but like I'm talking like you show up and there's a guy sitting next to you who has his face painted and is wearing shoulder pads and has like a big Charger.
I'm honestly more concerned that I'm going to be in the section that gets sold. You know what I mean? Where like everyone around me is a Cowboys fan. You know what I mean? And I'm sitting there and I'm wearing my Keenan Allen jersey, and they're all making fun of me. They're like, "You're a Chargers fan?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm a Panthers fan, but these are my season tickets." That's what I'm more concerned about.
They're just like, what a loser.
Because I wasn't going to go to the Cowboys game, but that is actually the first game of the season. I was going to sell tickets. I mean, this is an investment opportunity. But now I feel like I have to go to that game. So if you are a fan of the Cowboys, I will see you September 19th at SoFi Stadium. Gonna be a lot of fun. I can't wait.
This is so good. Who was would you say you're a bigger Charger? Like, because you're a booster now, right?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Would that be the term?
Yes.
You're technically you're invested in the team.
I wish I was a Packers, season ticket holder, because then I would be an owner.
You'd be a part owner.
Yeah, that would be nice. That sounds better.
Do you think your allegiances to the I almost said San Diego Chargers, which is funny because that is
San Diego
going to
people were
continue
upset
forever.
with me. I had San Diego fans saying that they were done with me because I bought Chargers season tickets.
Do you think if the Chargers said they want to move back to San Diego, which they're not going to, but if they did, would San Diego people take them back? Do you think?
Yes.
So it's not like this is like
It
a
would
LeBron.
be a very Cleveland situation.
This is a LeBron
exactly,
deal
yes.
where it's like burn
It's like,
everything.
we
I hate you.
Oh, wait a second. You love us? You want to come back?
I take it all back. Come on back.
Come on back.
Would you say you're a bigger Chargers fan than I am a Purdue fan? Because we're both boosters. We're both donors. We're both.
I think that I'm a deep-rooted Chargers fan. I didn't even know I was a Chargers fan, over all these years. But if you think about it, you just watch NFL Sundays like I do. You just watch, most of the games. With Red Zone, you can pretty much watch all the games. But since like 2008, how many times have we seen Phillip Rivers, come back late in the game and then not actually win? But it was like a great effort. That's kind of like
but it wasn't his fault.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault.
Yeah.
The Chargers were kind of cursed for a little while, with missing kicks and then bad things happening, or erroneous things would happen. I just kind of love them. They're like the Bad News Bears of football. But now they're actually good. We have Justin Herbert.
Now they're actually good.
We have such a deep quarterback room. Like Chase Daniel might get cut.
We have a deep
Chase Daniel might get cut. A savvy vet that we need for the room might get cut because our other backups are just better.
He slipped in a wee.
It's us. It's us, baby. Bolt up.
And he said that 3 minutes ago.
I'm a Chargers fan, but I wish I was a Packers fan.
Because then I could be an owner.
Oh man! All right, well, Godspeed. On
thank you.
Hopefully,
Good weekend overall, though. Watch it at home.
I'm excited for the Tate Frazier tweet in mid-November. That's like excited for. It's like at my first Chargers game. What a stadium.
Yeah, what a place. Happy to be here at the Browns game. I'm going to the Browns game.
Oh man, we must. The people come here for one thing, Tate, and one thing only, and that is college basketball talk. We are not a Chargers podcast yet. We might pivot.
We could
someday.
be. We could be.
Someday. But the people in mid-August, they are looking for one thing, and that is college basketball talk. That's what all of America is swept up with. They want to know what's going on in the wide world of college basketball.
Yes.
And what is going on is basically Emoni Bates. That's it. We've talked about him enough. We were planning for the show today, and I said, I'm done with Emoni Bates. Like, I don't want to talk about this anymore. This guy is
because he should have committed by this point.
He should have committed. He
Yes.
very clearly is like just teasing everybody. Like
Yes.
he commit. We've been over the story 1,000 times, and I was like, I'm over it. Like we kind of squeezed that udder dry. There's nothing left. I've milked Emoni Bates.
Yes.
There's no more milk. Isn't that what you said? That
Yes.
the coach turns around and says there's no more milk.
There's no more milk.
Emoni Bates is telling us there's no more milk. And then I found more milk, Tate.
Yes.
I found a secret udder to pull on. Which is, as you pointed out, classes are starting.
Yes.
This is a thing that's happening around college campuses, is that
College basketball, college is a part of the basketball.
yes, they're student athletes, folks.
Even
not
with
athlete
NIL
students.
rights,
Yeah,
you still have to go to college.
you have to go to college. So Tate brings up the point. He's like, I can't believe this guy visits Memphis. He visited Oregon, right?
Yes.
Both of his visits are over now.
Yep.
He's already visited Michigan State. He visited them in like 6th grade when he committed to them.
Yes. Poor Michigan State fans. They probably hate our entire show right now.
I
because
think
they're like,
they have to
"Why?"
like because we're sticking up for him. We
Yeah.
didn't know it's bullshit that he played them. And
He should have to play at
yeah,
Michigan State.
Yeah.
If he
should
plays
should be
college
forced to.
basketball, he should be forced.
When is
We're
his
kidding.
visit to the G League? Where do you go to do a G League visit?
I think you go to the NBA offices in New York, and Adam Silver's there, and he like walks you around. He shows you like what could be. He shows you like a fake NFT of yourself, superimposed.
Oh.
He has to go to a pro league at this point. Like, first and foremost, we did the research. He
Yeah, I
can't
was
go.
gonna say.
He can't go to Memphis.
So here's the
Yes.
breaking news. So Emoni Bates has done all his visits. He posts on Instagram. Was it that he posts a picture of him with
Him and Penny.
back to back, crossing
Yes.
arms, and he says great visit, whatever, and then hashtag not committed.
Not committed.
He has not committed, Tate, but it was a great visit.
Yes.
So thank you for the pictures, but I'm not committed.
Yes.
And the reason that is interesting, as you pointed out, classes have started. Now would be a pretty good time to commit. He's
Yes.
one of the only recruits in the entire country.
It was the only time to commit because classes
Yes.
started on Monday. He was there over the weekend. So they basically, Penny Hardaway, Larry Brown, Rasheed Wallace had to get this man to sign a letter of intent and then get him enrolled by Monday.
So here are the dates I have in front of me. Journalism. The classes begin August 23rd, 2021 at
Boom.
Memphis. Now, What is the registration situation? Let's pull this up.
Late registration, it can happen. You
Last
can do
day,
this.
last day of regular registration for a full term, which we're gonna. Well, full term and first term are the same thing.
Okay.
The same dates. August 20th. That date is come and gone. He is not registered, to my knowledge. Or should we call? Should we do a what's the act? The FOIA, Freedom of Information Act.
Yeah.
You can just call Memphis and be like, "For you, bitch."
Yeah, but then somehow
Release the tapes.
FERPA and HIPAA come in. You're like, oh, that's too many things.
Well, maybe we could do this off air for next show because we'll just keep talking about money forever.
Yeah.
We'll FOIA Memphis and make sure he's not registered here. But last day regular registration has come and gone. Late registration for a full term, for a full year of school, August 21st to August 26th date. Huh.
So he has to do it by Friday.
That gets me thinking. Yeah. Well, before Friday. When's the 26th? Let me pull up a calendar. I'm an idiot.
It's
I can't do
Thursday,
math.
right?
I can't do math.
I think it's Thursday.
Yeah, it's Thursday.
Yeah.
So he has to by Thursday if he's going to Memphis. And he has to pay a $100 late registration fee.
Oh, who's paying that?
Who's paying that? Where's a kid like him, a 17-year-old kid, coming up with that money? He's going to be doing a car wash?
That'd be so funny if that was like the reason why he couldn't enroll. It was like $100 fee.
That would be sick. That's a great PR move though for Emoni Bates. Honestly,
Yeah.
just to do a car wash to raise
the money
to
for-
pay his late registration
Yeah, so I
fee
can
of
get into
$100.
Memphis.
So there is still slightly a chance, but you've already put yourself behind the 8 ball. You're gonna have to pay $100. I feel like you're absolutely right. The time to commit was probably on the visit. So let's just go ahead and say Memphis is out.
Memphis is out.
That brings us to Oregon, because remember his Final Four: Memphis, Oregon, Michigan State,
NBA G League.
G League. The entire league.
Yes. The G League starts in like what, October? So he's got time
Who
there.
the hell knows? Or in fact, I Googled because I was putting all this together. I was like, when does the G League start? I could not figure it out.
Yeah, they don't
haven't
know.
set their schedule.
Yeah.
I was like, when does the G League usually start? Couldn't find that. It's like
Well-
it just says like when basketball starts. You're
Yeah.
like, okay.
Yeah.
cool.
When the actual basketball starts, you'll find us.
It'll find its way to you. You don't look it up. You don't search for it. All right, Oregon, another place you visited. Here's where it gets interesting.
Dior Johnson, the other 5-star at Oregon, put a picture up with those two, and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh,
Not
two
committed.
5-stars,
Not committed.
Yes, and then Emoni Bates is just at the camera saying, "No more pictures,
Not
not
committed.
committed."
Classes begin fall 2021 at Oregon. The initial registration now. First of all, let's go to the initial registration. Initial registration May 17th through 26th. May. Community education registration begins though September 25th because classes begin September 27th. Interesting.
Interesting. How does that even work?
Interesting. So Oregon has a little bit of a run.
They have a runway.
Do you think this is part of the Oregon package?
Yes.
Not just for
I
Emoni,
think
but
so.
for every recruit. It's like,
yeah. Especially when you're Nike and you're basically, you're just trying to build up these brands of these players, get their name out there even more. And the longer you wait, the more famous you are. I mean, look at Andrew Wiggins. The reason why Andrew Wiggins, people are like, he's not as good as I thought he was going to be, is because of the hype of his whole entire
Look at Romeo
recruitment.
Langford with
Yes.
Indiana fans.
Yes.
The reason Indiana fans just kept working themselves into frenzy of like,
Yes.
the longer he went before he committed, the more they're like, this is the most important
This is
thing
the
ever.
guy.
This
He
is-
knows
this-
how good he is.
And he's like,
Yeah.
never mind coming out of the state of Indiana. Like of guys coming out of Indiana who went to Indiana, he's not even probably a top 5 guy in the last like 10 years.
But
And at the time, it was like, this guy is the biggest recruit
he
the
just
state of
changed the
Indiana has
program.
ever.
Like Cody Zeller was a bigger commit, but
Oh, of course.
but
Yeah.
no one would say that. Like if
Yeah.
you said
Jordan
at the
Holes
time,
was a bigger commit, dude.
but if you said at the time, they'd be like, "What? Are you kidding me? This guy just changed the program."
Eric Gordon's out of Indiana. Armand Bassett might be. Okay, that's a little too much.
Yeah,
That's too much. Anyway, you're absolutely right. Dragging it out, that is part of the hype deal. Oregon though might still be in the running.
Yeah,
We
I
like
like
that.
Oregon. I like the fit at Oregon.
No
we
late.
compared it to Bowl at one point. That would check
Yep.
out.
So that brings us to the third college he's considering, Michigan State. So Michigan State.
All right, you can just end it there. I think that they're out of the run. They have to be at this point. But when do their classes start?
So Michigan State. Advising and enrollment appointments are taking place in August of 2021, which is where we're at right now, obviously. September 1st, fall semester classes begin. So Michigan State still might be in the running.
They still have a chance.
They still have a chance. What is looking sus, as the kids say, is Memphis. Memphis is looking a little like if he's going to Memphis, he's got to do it soon, or that late registration might bump up to $200, and then we're really in trouble.
I mean, is there any world in which like Emoni Bates breaks basketball and just waits till November and then commits to Memphis? And then no one even calls him on it. You know what I mean? No one even says anything.
Connects the dots.
Yeah, they don't even think about the fact that he had to be in
yeah.
class for the past 2 months. They just say, "Oh my God, what a big pickup for Memphis."
Dude, I honestly am at the point where is this a Billis take? If it's not, then I'm gonna claim it first. It feels like something Billis would do though, but
we can't read it behind the paywall, so we don't know. He may have said this behind that paywall.
What?
We don't know. We're not sure. We can't be sure.
Well, how many subscriptions do you have of media of like Ken Palm and ESPN Plus?
I have Ken Palm and The Athletic.
And The Athletic?
Yeah. But I'm not even sure I have The Athletic anymore. I had it at one time. I don't think I paid for it anymore.
Megan.Schuster at theringer.com is your login.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks, Megan.
I don't think I have any, honestly.
Yeah,
I think I should. I should set that up. I should figure stuff out. I don't know.
You probably could write it off.
Because I'm just like, I've been on the internet for too long where I remember when the internet started and everything was free.
Yeah.
And then you slowly start asking for money. And also, I'm old enough to remember the idea of putting your credit card information on the internet.
Yes.
Was like the biggest.
It was out of your mind? Dicey. Yeah.
Are you out of
yes.
like you're actually insane? It's like a Nigerian prince asking you for money.
Yeah.
Like that's how stupid you'd have to be to type in credit card information. So maybe I'm.
But that's why PayPal worked. That's why Elon Musk got us the first time.
I'm very much a hypocrite though, because I'll go to these ESPN Plus articles or Athletic or whatever, and I'll click on some headline, and then it'll come up and it'll be a paywall, and I'm like, why would this be a paywall? No one wants to read this anyway.
Yeah.
Like who cares?
Yeah.
And then I realized I'm the one that's trying to read.
No, yeah, you're
like, what is the
in.
audience for the top 7?
Well, at least The Athletic, I get like the first blurb. You know what I mean? Like I read until it phases out. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
so
then I
you get
try to read as many words as I can before it goes to completely blurred out.
ESPN will have like on ESPN Plus like the top 7 college basketball coaches who've been killing it during the pandemic.
Yes.
On social media or something.
Yeah.
Top 7
social media stars.
Social media stars in college basketball. And I'm like, who the hell would care about this? But I'm also very upset that I can't read this. Top 7 times the milk crate challenge was tried by.
What about that? What is happening? That's everywhere. I hate these challenges. I don't know who makes them up. But it must be the government.
Who's the coach most likely to do that? It's Musselman, right?
Yeah. Oh, are you? Yeah,
Has Musselman already done it? In fact, should we check?
Yeah.
Eric Musselman Twitter.
Crate challenge.
Let me make sure. Yes. I feel like that is
somehow he completes it too. You know what I mean? Like he does it. You're like, what?
Who other than Coach K? Other than the obvious. Other than okay, how do I phrase this? Because like who's the funniest coach that you want to see do the crate challenge? That's what I'm going for.
That's a good question. Mick Cronin.
Cronin would be funny.
Yeah, Cronin's funny. Because Cronin actually gets mad, you know what I mean?
Cronin would like do it really easily and be like, there.
Yeah, it's not hard. And then kick him down, you know, afterwards and say, this is stupid.
He's like, I don't get your maymays or whatever you call them.
I've only been to one concert.
Yeah.
That's still the craziest thing ever. This man's only been to one concert.
Musselman's 100% going to do this.
Yeah, he will. He will. And there's also like a young, like I can see like Nate Oates doing it, you know. Like there's other coaches competing to be.
Nate
cool.
Oates waits till Musselman does it and fails, and then Nate Oates is like, "This is my time to jump on this."
He's like, "I got this." Chris Beard does it. Wes Miller does it at Cincinnati, and that makes Travis Steele do it at Xavier. You know what I mean? Just become everyone's doing it. Rick Pitino would be hilarious at Iona. Like if Rick Pitino was just having a good day and he's like, "Oh, I'll try it."
Yeah, the kids, sports. I'll try. Calipari gets Drake to do it.
Oh,
He's just standing there clapping for him.
Coach Cal gets someone else to do it, and it gets like a big head of him on top of it, you know, and like makes like a video that he puts out. And it was like, Coach Cal, cold. It's like Brad doing it.
Mike Woodson, it's a video of Mike Woodson, and he's just sitting there, and someone's like, Coach, crate challenge? And he just looks up and goes, nah.
I'm a grown-ass man.
I'm a grown-ass man. I don't,
and that's the one that wins. It's like, I think he won the challenge.
Where were we?
Emoni Bates.
Emoni Bates, Michigan State. Fall semester classes begin September 1st. You know the school I need to look up. LSU.
LSU is a good one. LSU is a good one. I also just typed into Google Emoni Bates to see the top things that would pop up, and obviously it's, you know, the photos of him and Penny, the photos of him and Dior Johnson, but there's also this, which I feel like we haven't touched on yet, even though we talk about Emoni Bates the past 3 shows. Apparently he, quote unquote, wanted to stop playing basketball after his Sports Illustrated fame. This is like he did a.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he did. Yeah.
Emoni Bates is becoming comfortable with stardom, but he
Yeah.
also wanted to quit playing basketball because
Yes.
of the stardom.
Yes. So the way to combat the stardom is to have literally the longest recruiting.
I was, like,
decision.
I was just so confused. I haven't seen that headline yet. So he wanted to stop playing basketball, but
And
also
take pictures of me at every single stop and
Yes.
put out posts that say not
More
committed to
videos.
get people like
Yes.
pay more. Okay, gotcha. Makes total sense. First of all, LSU fall semester begins August 12th, so
it's over.
it's over for LSU, or is it?
It's over.
It's never over for LSU.
It's over.
Secondly, I forgot to finish my point that the Billis take that I had, which
Oh
is
yeah, that's right.
Billis might already have this, but I'm co-signing it if he does. Do we need to care about academics with
Yeah, that's a
Has
great
that
question.
time come and gone?
Yes.
Can they just be athletes? Like if
Yeah.
put it this way, is it the NCAA's jurisdiction to care? Like leave it up to the schools. Like if you want to be Memphis, and solely your the academic institution that is the University of Memphis by allowing a guy to show up in November and still get credits for classes that he obviously wasn't attending. Maybe I'm hitting a little close to home.
No, I was gonna say we did it first.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is us. We were already ahead of
But
this.
in all honesty, why not? Let him do it. Like
Yeah.
Carolina had to answer to the NCAA obviously a little bit.
Had to
but,
deal with the
but not really.
accreditation of
but
the university.
accreditation of the
Yeah.
university became a thing. So like, isn't that more of that sector where it's like if Memphis is doing that for people, answer to the accreditation. Let the
Yeah.
athletes do whatever they want.
Exactly.
And if they don't go to class, like that reflects poorly on the school, and then the school gets fined by I don't know whoever finds them.
I mean, a lot of these
government? I don't know.
SEC schools, I'm not going to point them out, but they have like an athlete plan, like, you know what I mean? Which is basically what North Carolina was doing, but it wasn't formalized, so it doesn't make it work. But they basically like, you're taking these classes, all the athletes are here, you go here, you go here, you go
Yeah.
here. And that's the structure for you guys.
And then you get a guy like Aaron Kraft shows up to Ohio State and just like breaks the system.
He's like, I actually want to
can
be
I
a
take
doctor.
chemistry? And they're like,
like, no, you cannot. No, you're the point guard.
how dare you? All right, so that's the Emoni Bates update. It looks like Memphis might be out of the running, but again,
It's not over.
it's not over.
It's not over.
But it's got to happen soon if he's going to Memphis.
Do you think it's? I don't even.
Where
think
does your
it's-
crystal ball say?
My crystal ball says Memphis.
Still.
Still says Memphis. I don't know why, but like I told you 3 weeks ago, I was told he was going to Memphis.
He's not committed. He's hashtag not committed.
But he's
though.
hashtag not committed, so we don't know.
Crystal. What's the crystal balls?
I wish it
update
was
on that?
more of a thing though. Like I feel like Andrew Wiggins. If Andrew Wiggins was still not committed at this point, it would be a fever. Like it would be on SportsCenter. You know,
Yeah.
every night it's like Andrew
Yeah.
Wiggins flies to Florida.
But this is where Emoni big swing and miss is that he already committed to Michigan State. So like we already have the
De facto school.
yeah.
Yeah.
We already have like the big announcement. We've already seen you put a hat on. Like I don't want to see you put another hat on. I'm curious about where you end up.
Yeah.
But I don't want to watch the announcement. I don't because I know like how do
Maybe
I know
this is a
one's
lesson. Never commit
Never
until
commit.
the end.
to anything?
Never. Yeah. Don't commit, kids. Get a tip to
literally
that
anything.
like from that. Do
We
not
gotta
commit.
pull up Crystal Balls on 24/7, who is their lead recruiting analyst.
Yeah, Crystal
named
Ball's
Crystal
our
Balls.
favorite reporter.
She says 67% Memphis still.
Yeah.
67%.
Race to 69. Let's go.
We should call Crystal. Jim, pull up. Find a Crystal Balls somewhere in America. Some woman named Crystal Balls.
And let's call her.
Does she have a
And
phone
just
number
ask
that we
her
can
where she
call?
thinks Emoni Bates is going to go. And she's like, who?
She's like,
Emoni Bates. Just give us the info.
Crystal Ball. Oh man.
It doesn't feel like Jalen Duran, by the way, who's already committed to Memphis. It doesn't feel like he is recruiting Emoni Bates as much. You know what I mean? It does
Yeah.
feel like these 5 stars, because we're used to, I think we're more of like Fab Five when they're super classes and they recruit each other. It does not feel like that is happening with Emoni Bates. I have not seen one other kid other than Dior Johnson actively say, I want Emoni Bates to come play with me. You know? And
That's
I find that
interesting.
kind of fascinating.
Yeah.
But he is separate. He has been like
Durant
a separate star.
Durant should decommit from Memphis.
That'd be sick.
Just to really shake it up.
Commit to Oregon. We're like, oh my God, super team in Oregon.
It's all so stupid. Speaking of things that are stupid, Coach K is in hot water. Boy, is he! This might be the biggest college basketball scandal we have seen in quite some time. Tate. The headline reads: Duke reports possible Legionella bacteria exposure at K Academy, and I said to myself, "What? This is stunning.
Wait, what?
This
Yes.
is why are more people not talking about this? You mean to tell me that Coach
84 people paid $12,500 to hang out with Coach K?
Yes.
What?
That's the headline. I was like, what? What the hell is K Academy?
How much? Well, the Yankees did this too. They had like a Mickey Mantle camp. You know, it was like a fantasy camp, and my uncle went up and did that. And then when people would come over, he'd just be like, "I played on the Yankees," you know. And I think that's what this camp is. It's like for guys that are over.
What's the Seinfeld fantasy camp? Is it George or Kramer who has the? He's like, your whole life is a fantasy camp. You sleep with women without dating them. You don't have a job. Is that Kramer? I think that was Kramer.
It sounds like a Kramer thing, yeah, for sure. But it's also, that's what these guys are here for. You know, they're going to Duke. They put on the uniforms. Coach K takes a picture with them. He teaches them how to throw chest passes.
Yeah.
Teaches them, you know, the K way.
Doesn't Cal does something like this too, right? Like
course.
Kentucky fantasy
Yeah,
camp.
and then they make straight cash.
Where does the cash go? Is it case?
Pockets.
But duh. But I mean, like, does he have to give like the school get a cut of this?
I'm sure
Or
that
is
the
this just-
school gets a cut of it.
If you're,
I'm sure the school gets a cut of it, but I think the majority of this goes to like Coach K's foundation, you know,
Yeah.
which we all know foundation means you,
Yeah.
your wallet.
What? What, Jim? What fantasy camp are you going to? Sports or otherwise?
Felipe
I don't know.
Lopez.
What?
Yeah, that would be fun.
Keller and I were talking about doing adult space camp. That apparently exists. You can like
That's pretty
go
cool.
do it like you know how like on all the Nickelodeon game shows,
Yeah.
the big grand prize was a trip to space camp.
Yeah.
They apparently do that in Huntsville for adults, and that actually seems actually sick.
Huntsville, Alabama.
Yeah, Huntsville, Alabama is where the
Well, that's how they get you. They're like, you gotta go to Huntsville, Alabama.
you stay at the Days Inn. They put you up at the Days Inn.
Exactly. What do they know about space in Huntsville, Alabama?
I
That's
don't know,
awesome.
dude. That's always been a Huntsville. I don't know. I don't even know how I
mean,
know that
yeah.
or why that would be the.
I respect it.
There's
That
got to be a
sounds fun.
reason.
We should
We're
go.
gonna have someone tweet at us and like. Here's
No
the story
disrespect to
behind it.
Huntsville, Alabama. I will go there for space camp.
By the way, George Costanza did say that about Kramer and his
That's right.
life as the camp when he was going to baseball fantasy camp. And there is a reporter named Crystal Ball. Crystal with a K. Yeah, I think she was on the press box once.
Crystal
What did she
Ball?
report on?
Politics.
Ugh.
Oh my
Waste
God.
of a name.
Dude, I gotta
Waste
pull
of
her
a
up.
name. Do we need to call her
Wait.
and tell her to make a career switch?
Dude, she's like-
Tipton edit / Crystal Ball.
There's
like,
also
that's
a-
undefeated.
There's
Nobody
also a
beats
traffic reporter named Robin Banks.
that. Oh, that's pretty good.
Unrelated.
Robin Banks here reporting on a bank robbery.
Crystal Ball's like actually kind
Like,
of famous, I
verified.
guess.
Yeah.
She's got 480,000 Twitter followers.
She's more famous than us.
Crystal Ball, can we come on your show?
We're telling her that she needs to get this big market. She's like, what market? We're like, college basketball. She's like, are you guys idiots? What?
Dumb idiots. I work
She's
in the
been
White
on
House.
Real Time with Bill Maher. Apparently.
That's so good.
Well,
We should try to book her. Why
yeah, let's
not?
get her on the show.
Throw out the Fox. Yeah, that would be that's a great bit for her. I think I know nothing about this woman, but I feel like that's a good little
Yeah.
side gig for her. She just
Yeah.
comes on, knows nothing about college basketball, and
And
she's
look,
just like Emoni Bates to Memphis. And sometimes she's right, and when she's right, we'll.
You get all the
use her
friends
back.
of the program, too. They support you forever.
Yeah.
They don't even know anything about politics. They're like, what?
How serious is this though? In these times of coronavirus, do we need another disease out there? What's Coach K doing here? What's his plan? What's his thought? Like we already got the one disease. Do we need more? Like why at this time? Doesn't this feel a little insensitive to you, Tate?
It does, and it really hurts the Coach K farewell tour. You know what I mean? When we're talking about bad PR, like this is not what we need. Like you talk about Coach K's past 2 weeks. You talk to me on a Zoom. That's bad PR.
That's disease. If you're Coach
really-
K, that's like
talking to the enemy.
That's speaking to the disease itself.
And then right after that, you get the virus. You know, this
Yeah.
is like in sunny Philadelphia. It's like I got the virus. Like he walked right into that, and I don't know if he comes back from this. I hope that he does. I know that the 84 people there, though, they will not say anything. Even if one of these 84 people got seriously in trouble with Legionella, I don't think they would report it to the public. You know, that's how much. If you pay $12,500 to hang out with Coach K, you love Duke basketball
Yeah.
and Coach K that much that you would never
So,
put out bad PR. for
who
him.
told him?
I
How
don't
to get
know.
out?
I think it
Who's the rat?
Zion. Zion
Just all the
told.
way to the top.
Zion told. He was like, I wish I went to Carolina.
The other thing that stood out to me about this story is the inclusion in all these articles that say no Duke athletes were exposed to Legionella.
I know.
So explain that to me. How were the people in the camp going to places that the athletes themselves don't go to? Why were they going to these places? What's going on here, Tate? What's going on?
Apparently, they said it was a training room That was like that's where they they have like the infectious disease experts that we need working on COVID. They are at Durham. They're in Durham right now at Duke University working on Legionella instead. And it sounds like they're trying to trace back where it came from. They think it's a training room, but like they're like, we have all the experts here. I'm like, I'm not sure we need all the experts there. You know, like we need maybe one or two to go in there, say, okay, these people got sick, but I don't know why they were in separate training rooms, but it's probably a good thing. Imagine paying $12,500. You don't even get to go to the normal training rooms, and then the training room
that's
that
what
they
I'm
take
saying.
you
Like
to
it's obviously some sort of scam if they're taking you to rooms that the athletes themselves don't go to.
Yeah, and then saying this is the table where Bobby Hurley famously got his ankle wrapped, and then it's actually just a staged set.
Interesting.
And it was in the water supply, so I think it was from like these old guys being tired, like doing the drills with Coach K, and then they're going over to the water fountain, and they're drinking out of the same water fountain. And I'm sure the players like, I would never drink out of that water fountain. You know what I mean?
Are we worried about the same as the Carolina water fountain tapped into the same pipe?
That was the beautiful part about this, because North Carolina, the picture I brought
people
up,
were killing Carolina.
Yeah, they're like, look at these idiots. They're going to get clusters of COVID everywhere. They're drinking out of the same water fountain, and then Duke. Basically the same day they come out.
All right, fine.
This.
You sold me. It is the best rivalry in college basketball.
Thank you.
Kentucky and Louisville would never have that.
Yes, because
that degree of
the reason it's a great rivalry is because at the end of the day we're still on the same side. You know what I mean? It's kind of like Democrats and Republicans. Like at the end of the day, we're all just Americans, right? Like Duke and North Carolina, like we're still on the same side of like Tobacco Road over everything else. We're the best. Okay. We're the best. And this rivalry,
and that makes you a better rivalry. That you're in bed with your rival.
No, we're not actually in bed. We hate each other, but we're like, if someone else from the outside starts talking shit, it's like, no, can't talk about us. Like this is the best. It's Ohio State, Michigan football. You guys have it. You guys understand it. It's the same thing, just not as classy.
But we're not in bed together. We hate each other. We hate Michigan.
Yeah.
To the point that I'm watching the
the higher ups are in the same suites. You know what I mean? And they're laughing together. They're laughing together. That's all I'm saying. At the top, they're laughing together.
All right. So this is in all seriousness, I guess this disease is not really that big of a deal. I guess I don't know.
84 people.
I don't want to. I don't.
Nausea, fever.
The bacteria, according to the CDC, could cause Legionnaire's disease, a lung infection, as well as Pontiac fever. That sounds like a car. That sounds like I remember commercials
something I
from
read like in 1909 about what happened to someone, and they're like they got Legionella.
Pontiac fever sounds like a commercial I saw in Indiana in 1994. The guy with like a mustache and a bullet was like, "Folks,
Jeff
you got Pontiac fever like I do."
Did like a satire of it at some point.
All right, we got to figure out what else is going on in this world other than Emoni Bates and Coach K giving everyone what was it called? Legionnaires, Legionella. But the disease Legionella gives is Legionnaires.
Disease.
Legionnaires sounds like a local little what like the Elks clubs.
Yeah.
Or in all
like
these small towns. Kiwanis.
Yeah.
Going down to the Legionnaire.
VFW. Yeah. Like I'm going down to hang out with the Legionnaires. Yeah. Like you guys have jackets? They're like, yeah, of course we have jackets. Are you kidding me?
Playing bingo at Legionnaires Hall tonight. $5 buy-in.
And everyone apparently is okay, by the way. So that's why we're laughing about it. If someone was actually sick and Coach K did this, we'd be up
disgusted.
In arms. Yeah,
it would be a crisis. All right, so here's the plan. Here's what we're gonna do because we are running out of udders to squeeze.
Running out of college milk. That's what
Give us the milk, Jim.
Got milk.
Jim, Google just the two words college basketball, and hit enter, and tell us what comes up, and we will.
We'll see what we want to hit.
We'll see how noteworthy it is. What we're missing out there.
Is it possible to play college basketball? No, says Mark Titus. All right. I do have a couple stories. Hold on.
Great job. Great start.
All right. Buzz Williams suspended for 2 games.
What? Wait, what?
Oh, that's right. There was I remember this. I saw this too. Buzz Williams suspension. He was it was something to do with an assistant coach. Like an assistant coach, if I remember this right, was talking to the team that wasn't authorized. It was like a director of ops type.
Yeah.
It was like one of the side roles where you're not technically and he was talking to the team. I forget all the details, but I saw just that. And I thought it was hysterical.
Yeah, that just sounds like a really weird technicality. So he's suspended because he had someone?
Because someone on his staff was not authorized to speak to the team.
Yeah.
Like spoke words to the team. don't know. I tried to pull up.
What a strange position to be in. You're like, I actually cannot talk to the team.
All right, hang on. Let me see. The battalion serving Texas A&M. All right, Texas A&M basketball head coach Buzz Williams has been suspended. According to the press release, NCAA discovered coaches and staff members violated multiple bylaws, resulting in a suspension, a 2-year program, probation, $5,000 fine, 5 fewer official visits, and a week of recruiting days retracted during the academic year. Include one of A&M's assistant coaches organizing and supervising approximately 24 off-campus workouts with male basketball players and a prospective athlete that were prohibited due to COVID-19. All right.
Okay.
Well, that seems...
What 2 games? Can he pick the 2 games, or is it just the first 2 games?
The same assistant coach who was unnamed in the NCAA press release impermissibly evaluated and conducted tryouts with the prospect. All right, so that sounds a little...
Well, the NCAA is about to get taken out, so
yeah,
I mean...
just fight it.
Yeah,
that's my advice to
yes.
A&M. Just
Appeal.
say fake news. Just keep seeing...
Oklahoma State literally just kept appealing and got to play in the tournament. They're
going to keep appealing.
Yeah, kick it down the road.
They kept kicking it because they wanted to get Cade a year of tournament play.
Yes.
I guarantee you this year they're going to keep kicking it. It's not like this year they're going to be like, okay, fine, punish us. They're just going to keep kicking it and wait out the NCAA until
Forever.
it dies, and then yeah.
Also, Tyrese Radford, Virginia Tech, transferred to Texas A&M. Buzz Williams.
Oh, do you think it was him?
That could
What
be
if the
it.
reason- yeah.
But it might be worth it because Tyrese Radford's really good.
He's pretty good.
Yeah, I know. It's like a pretty good
It's
pickup.
worth it.
Yeah. Good job, Buzz.
That'd be sick. Buzz Williams tweeted out the article tweets out the article that says he's suspended and he just puts worth it.
Yeah.
With a picture of Radford in
What-
Texas A&M jersey.
What is your name? You know how if you're Richard, you go by Dick. Like, what is the name to be Buzz? You
That's a
know,
great question. What is Buzz Williams?
because like
real name?
what
I
Buzz
think I knew this at one
Aldrin.
time.
I mean, I feel like it's something that's probably easily known, but at the top of my head, I'm like, who is the Buzz?
I think Buzz is just always a nickname. I bet okay, why would you nickname someone Buzz? Because they got a buzz cut. He's got a buzz cut, right?
Yeah.
He's got the Shaka Smart deal too, where it's like
He
he's
got
just
hair.
doing it to do it.
Yeah, he
Just
shaved
kinda-
his head because he could.
Kind of a psychopath move, honestly.
Yeah,
But
and it also upsets the ball community because the ball
Yeah.
community is like,
it's
if you don't
appropriation,
want the
dude.
hair, share the hair. Give
Yeah.
us the hair.
Yeah.
What is this?
Yeah, and also it's like you can't appropriate that. Like we've
Yeah,
earned
true.
this. We've earned this.
Yeah.
You know how much ridicule we've gone through, and like
That
how many
seems
times
like a
we-
Larry David bit right there, where he like goes up to a guy that shaved his head bald, and he's like, "You can't do this."
feels like may have already been one. That
Yeah.
feels very
Yeah,
familiar.
yeah,
That's the
it feels
problem with that show is like you start explaining stuff like that, you're like, I think I've seen that episode.
Like, yeah, I think they've done that.
Buzz Williams, his real name is Brent.
Huh?
Brent Langdon Williams. He earned a bonus. Referring to his boundless energy, that was what I was gonna say. I feel like
Energy.
that's the other. His coaches at Navarro College nicknamed him Buzz.
Yeah. See, we had like
Now-
a bunch of kids that went by like Bubba that were like had a bunch of energy that were like that had nothing to do with their names, but they were just like played baseball and they went by Bubba. And then when they got older, they stopped doing that. So I didn't know if a Buzz was like a young
Well,
kid thing.
I was gonna say this. It says he got his nickname in college.
Ooh,
How do we feel about that? Like
that's
that
too
feels a little
late.
late
That's
in
too
life
late.
to go by
that's
Buzz.
way too late.
Buzz is
Honestly,
like
if I knew him growing up and then I met him or saw him later in life and he's like, I'm Buzz,
Buzz now.
I would laugh at him. What?
yeah,
You can't be Buzz now.
yeah.
You can't be Buzz now. But it probably helped with his coaching, you know what I mean? Because Buzz,
What do you think?
Brent Williams doesn't pop. Buzz Williams pops.
What do you think Kareem's friends from high school call him? Lou or Kareem? They
Kareem.
probably have to call him Kareem,
Yeah,
though, right?
I think that's a little bit different.
What about like I remember BJ Mullins goes by
I think Bill Simmons is the only person that calls him Lou.
BJ Mullins showed up at Ohio State after having left for a few years, and he went by Byron.
Yeah,
And
that's
I
fine.
remember the same thing where I was like, "Shut up, BJ."
Yeah. just shut your mouth.
BJ, shut up.
It's kind of like Mitch and Mitchell Trubisky, you know? It's
Yeah,
like,
it's like okay, Mitch.
it's too
whatever
late.
you say.
It's too late. It's too late.
All right, so good story. Buzz Williams suspended for.
Nice.
That sucks though. That does suck in these times of the NCAA. It doesn't have any power, name, image, likeness. Like at a time when like everyone's like,
I think you don't even answer, you know, and they
Yeah.
reach out to you, just act like you didn't see it.
And
And they call you out, you're like, what?
and LSU is they keep saying we don't know what to do yet and all
Yeah.
that, and then suddenly they're quote unquote dropping a hammer on Texas A&M. No, if I'm A&M, I'm just like,
Kansas is still
kick rocks.
doing the exact same thing that they were doing before Merrill Code and everything that happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's like Adidas has not stopped.
A&M's official statement back to the NCAA should say, there must be some mistake. We are in the SEC now, so please,
Please advise.
please advise.
Regards, the SEC. Next up, Jim.
Next, by the way, best buzz is Buzz McAllister from Home Alone.
Oh, yeah.
Good buzz.
That's
Yeah.
a good one.
That's a great
Buzz,
buzz.
your girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah, woof.
Woof. Was she? Has anyone broke down the girlfriend? Talked to her?
It's actually a guy in that picture.
Is it really?
Mm-hmm.
That makes me feel better. Because like looking back on it, like what if
Columbus
that?
thought it would be too mean to have a real girl.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's exactly what the thought I had right now. Where I was like, I bet if that woman is probably like really depressed because everyone.
Yeah, but they
Associates her
got
face
ahead of
with
it.
just-
That was genius.
Wow.
That was genius.
Wow.
Might be appropriating women, but
Yeah.
genius.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, Tyler Smith,
Oh.
the number 8 prospect in 2023, is
Bust.
going to overtime elite.
Wait, another one? This is a new. When did this happen? Tyler Smith?
I don't know.
Yeah, this is recent. They have. I think they say they have 7 5-stars that are committed to.
This guy was
overtime
number
elite.
8.
He's number 8.
It's number 8.
8 stars.
So they have
8
8
stars.
5-stars. I like to think that overtime elite is just stacking the stars as they keep climbing to the top.
What if he signs with them and then overtime elite folds before 2023? Does he still have to go there?
He
I
goes to Memphis.
think, yeah, I was gonna say I think LSU or Memphis
He does
probably
all
are his top 2 schools.
he pays the $100 fee and late registers to Memphis. I think.
Yeah, that's fair.
Overtime elite, dude. Overtime elite.
Tyler Smith should go by Buzz. His name should be Buzz Smith. I think I would be more. I'd be like, wow, man, Buzz Smith sounds really good. I don't know about Tyler Smith. That's too basic of a name, Tyler.
I'm pulling up overtime stuff. In April 2021, Overtime announced that it raised $80 million Series C round from Jeff Bezos, Drake, Alex Ohanian, which I think that's
It's the Reddit guy.
dude,
It's Serena
and
Williams.
a number of
husband.
other investors.
They got $80 million. That's insane.
So Drake is now an enemy of college basketball. Then
Yes, he is.
So he can't go to Lexington. That's
But-
crossing.
No, but the reason I think he invested in this was for his future stepson or whatever, Amari Bailey.
Oh.
Because I think he was like, at this time, he was like, I don't want Amari to go to college. But then I think
Oh,
Amari was like,
no.
it's actually better to go to UCLA because I get Jordan Brand. Guess who's sponsored by Jordan Brand and has his own sneakers? Drake. So I think Drake probably pivoted out of the overtime league. At that time, it sounded really good. And then he was like, nah, never mind. I'm UCLA. I'm blue blood. Drake's a blue blood. At the end of the day,
what if-
Kentucky, UCLA, Carolina, Kansas, Drake will be there.
I'm thinking about this though. What if the overtime elite? What if the path is not the NBA anyway? What if it's just like
A separate league.
just a separate existence?
That's
like you just
cool.
like you're like the professor
Yeah.
who
It's the And1 mixtape tour.
he's on the N1 mix. He's not anymore, is he? I don't even know what he does.
There is no And1 mixtape tour.
What is the professor? The guy's making a living playing basketball somehow, isn't he?
Yeah.
But he's not playing in leagues. He just like shows up at
He
pickup
does
games
appearances and things.
and does appearances
Yeah.
and stuff. What if that's the move? What if like you go to overtime elite just to like build your clout,
Mm-hmm.
and you somehow you're like Julian Newman or T-Chest. Jim's eyes pricked up.
Hell yeah.
And that's just
T-Chest.
get T-Chest on the overtime elite team.
Yeah, Max is nice. Famous Lows.
What if we're thinking about this all wrong? You got to go galaxy brain. It's like this is not the path to the NBA. This is the path to like something else that we don't even know what's out
Entertainment.
there.
Yeah. The WWF of basketball. It's not even basketball. And they have style points. They should have style points.
That's the NBA though. We've already.
That's
that
pretty-
is the NBA.
I mean, I guess that's good for overtime elite. Are you worried as a college basketball fan about
yeah,
overtime
I think
elite?
this changes everything.
Yeah, me
I think
too.
it does.
I think it's over.
Tyler Smith signing with overtime elite is
I'm calling him Buzz Smith.
Buzz Smith.
Buzz Smith.
Yeah, this is I'm so fascinated, man. Like I am watching every single second of the documentaries that come out about this stupid league.
Yeah.
In 5 years when it folds, and it's the fire fest of
Yes, exactly.
sports leagues.
Someone put it in good terms to me, like $80 million sounds great, right? Seed money. But the NCAA in 1 year, in 1 March, makes like $700 million.
Yeah.
So it's like you're already way back behind the 8 ball.
80 million does sound like a lot until you put it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, that's right. The other institution has
Also,
hundreds
how
and
much
hundreds
money
of
did
million.
Quibi raise?
Exactly. Also, you have to pay $500 million just to get out of the ACC. You know what I mean? Like just one school has $500 million in theory to pay to get out of the ACC.
And they might do it.
Clemson has $500 million waiting around. That's way more than the overtime elite league. So
Who else is on? I need to like research. I'm stuck in this weird position with overtime where I want to know more because it's like fascinating, but it's also like I don't want to know more because it's just hilarious that this thing
Yeah.
exists over here that is not breaking through in the. I don't know. It's like cryptocurrency kind of. Where
Yeah.
like the people that are in the know are like, no, this is changing everything.
Yeah,
The people that aren't in the know are like
NFTs,
just
yeah.
laughing at them.
Exactly.
That's what this is to me.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be in the know.
I don't like the name either.
I want to know enough to know that it's stupid, and that's what I'm at with overtime. Is I know enough to know this is stupid, but if I know more, then I might start like falling into the trap.
If there was a
I'm
new
gonna show
league
up.
that was called the ABA, and it was like they were just like, we're gonna put $80 million and Drake's involved, and it's gonna be this fun new basketball league to compete with the NBA. Now
That's
I'm perked
sick.
up. Now I'm
That's
listening. Like now I want to hear about it.
Tate just traded his Chargers tickets for overtime.
Yes,
Just let you know. Yeah. Next up,
Yeah, what else is going on?
former college basketball player to host Jimmy Kimmel Live,
Wait, what?
Who is it?
Stephen A. Smith.
Oh, Winston-Salem State.
Is he really?
Yes.
Tonight.
First time ever doing late night. Who's on there? Is someone fun? I think Snoop
Snoop.
Dogg.
Stephen
yeah,
A.
Yeah.
Stephen A. He's just debating himself.
Stephen A. and Snoop Dogg is good
His
content.
first
Allison
guest is
Felix.
his first guest is Max Kellerman. They're just
I think he got Kellerman out, unfortunately. I hated to
so,
see
yeah,
that, but
yeah.
Stephen A's he's a one-man
Allison
band.
Felix is gonna be on,
Mm-hmm.
and Snoop Dogg. How about that?
Yeah.
Two USC people.
Yeah,
There you go.
love it. Good for Stephen A.
That's interesting. So does this man say no to anything though?
No.
Do you think when's the last time Stephen A. was approached like, we want to put you on television for blank, and he's like, no, I'm good on that one.
I think it was the My Pillow guy. He was like, I can't do this. I think that was the one time he said no. But everybody else, he's like, yes, put me on TV. I could care less. His ESPN Plus show that he has, like Stephen A's World, I watched that one time, and I mean, it is pure comedy. Like, the guy is hilarious. And he's playing the character to a T. Because you remember, like, Quite Frankly with Stephen A. Smith?
Yes.
And, like, all
Yes.
Stephen A. talked about was Allen Iverson because he covered Allen Iverson for those seasons.
Right, and he had what's his name on? Who was the owner that was like tied up with Slam Ball?
But that was like that's the Stephen A. that I know, so I'm actually like
the
proud
guy
to
I'm
see
thinking of?
the full progression and growth of Stephen A. It's been entertaining.
This is gonna bother
Back in the
me.
time when you would actually watch ESPN, now all I watch is Fox.
Pat Croce, right? He was the sports team executive and owner.
He on the Sixers.
Yeah, you own the
Yeah.
Sixers, right, Croce? Yeah, I feel like I
He went
remember
nuts at the
his face.
draft.
I have like burned in my younger Stephen A. and Croce in like a Zoom box. Where
Yes.
they're both just like their two faces are next to each other, and he's
Yeah.
always every guest was him or AI,
Yeah.
or like someone who covers. The
I think
Sixers.
the only guy that's really jealous of Stephen A. Smith, like when he goes to bed at night, is Jim Rome.
Yeah,
Like Jim Rome was like that. That was me.
yeah.
That could have been me. That should be me. I should be hosting Jimmy Kimmel.
Jim Rome. Speaking of that, Jim Rome. I don't think I've ever told. I don't even think I've told you this. Jim Rome reached out to me when I was when I had the block. He tried to hire. He tried to get me to move to LA. I mean, like I'm sure, like not that he was offering me, you know. But the way he worded the email is like one of the funniest. I should try to dig it up, dude, because the email was like in the cadence.
Yes.
It's like, yo, love your need you in LA. Let me know. And like that was it. And they like signed up Romy or something like you know.
When I think of Jim Rome, I just think of Space Jam when he goes on and just starts ripping Michael Jordan for playing baseball. He's like, hang it up.
I was 22 years old reading this email from Jim Rome. I'm like,
Jim Rome
what is
is
happening?
still burning.
Oh man, what else? Is that it? Is there anything else going on?
Let's see. Sports Illustrated asks, "Can Moneyball work in college hoops?"
What does that even mean?
I don't know.
Like paying players less than the big boys are
I
paying?
guess.
Yeah, what?
Trying to,
what?
Trying to just spend
What
some
school
money.
is this about?
I don't know. There was another article saying, let's just move on.
Moneyball in sports is like Uber for an app.
Yeah.
You just say Moneyball. You're like, we're taking the Moneyball approach to making our team, and everyone's like, that's genius.
I actually like that's my test with people. I'll ask them the question like, do they like Bull Durham or do they like Moneyball? Like, what's the better baseball movie? And then I decide. Then you learn a lot about that person because if they say Moneyball, you know, it's kind of just like, oh, okay. Oh,
We're gonna hear Tate.
Not gonna be my guy.
We're gonna hear Tate talking about the Chargers as like part of what I love about this franchise is their Moneyball
Yeah, we're
approach to the
kind of
NFL.
like, we're kinda like Moneyball. You know, you ever seen that movie?
Where we like the players we get like aren't as good, but but maybe like enough things could happen
so
where
good. We're so good
we
this
could
year.
make the AFC Championship, and that would be pretty tight.
This is a great question. This is the next.
Should
is this
Kansas-
a headline?
Yes.
Should
From
Kansas
Anonymous Eagle.
join the Big East? Oh, the Marquette people. They hate us, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
No, they're
Don't
gonna
they hate
hate
us?
him more.
For a little while.
Should Kansas join the Big East? What's the rule in journalism where every headline with a question, the answer is no? Isn't that a thing?
Yeah.
There you go. We have our answer.
The answer is no.
I mean,
It starts out right. It's the Big Ten.
I would love Kansas football to go independent. Kansas joins the Big East, and then the football just goes independent, and they just play.
It's like
they
UConn
play-
football.
They play the Kansas high school state champion every year.
Yeah. Just let it go. Just let it go. Les Miles, just let it go. They've tried it all, you know what I mean? They've had multiple coaches come in. They were
Yeah.
supposed to be
Mangino
big time.
was great.
Yeah, exactly.
Charlie Weiss was too close to Mangino
Yeah.
in aesthetic. It didn't,
Sam said the same thing. He was like, wait a second. Is that Mangino?
that didn't work for me. Yeah, Les Miles is the coach still.
Yeah. Or I think he's like
Is he
I
asterisk?
think he's suspended. Yeah, I think
He's
I
got the
think
Gottfried
he's
asterisk?
Gottfried. I think he's Gottfried.
Les Miles, Kansas coach. Just let yeah.
The
Yeah,
Mad
he's done.
Hatter.
No, he most recently served as the head coach of Kansas. He's not. The head
Oh,
coach
he's
anymore.
done.
Yeah.
Who's the coach now?
Who the hell is Kansas?
Yeah, look that up. That's a
This
good
is a-
question. This is good Googling, Jim.
Who is
Thanks.
Kansas's football head coach? This is a sad state of affair. Lance Leopold.
Mm,
That's right. I remember this now.
I don't.
I remember this now.
I don't.
That's
But that's Kansas football for you. I don't. I feel like Kansas football is what people try to do to Carolina football, and I refuse to let that happen because we are a football school.
Kansas went to an Orange Bowl one year, right?
Yeah.
With Mangino.
Yeah.
They can get it back.
It was like a Wake Forest. Remember Wake Forest went to the Orange Bowl with
Yeah.
Riley Skinner, and it was just like these weird times in college football. You're like, wait, what?
like 07.
I think they
that
played.
07
Did they
year.
play each other? Was that the game? No, that couldn't have been the game.
No. I
But
don't know.
but it was like 06, 07 range when that was all happening in college football.
Basketball schools like Kansas and Indiana and North Carolina being good at football is just objectively hilarious.
Yeah.
Like the idea that Indiana's ranked 17th to start the season in football is funny. It's
Carolina's number 9
like, it's actually funny.
and as a Heisman candidate.
Carolina has been better as a football program, so
Yeah.
it's not quite as
I
funny.
mein, Lawrence Taylor went to Carolina. You know what I mean? The
Yeah,
guy who
that's-
invented the sack
yeah.
went to Carolina. So there's something
But
there.
Kansas and Indiana are, I think those are the two big ones, especially.
UConn.
Kentucky's up there.
UConn's in there. UConn's been like D2 forever. And then like
UConn's-
Randy Edsel was there for a minute. They like beat Notre Dame one time.
Syracuse has entered the zone where it's like funny now. Like if Syracuse football became great again, but Jim Brown went to Syracuse. Like Syracuse football is
Syracuse and
historically
Carolina are kind of they're similar, you know, in the
But
makeup.
now Syracuse has got to that point where like if I look up and Syracuse is ranked 4th in the country in football, I'm laughing my ass off.
I mean, Greg Paulus played quarterback there. You know what I mean? That's the craziest thing in the world still to this day. That says a lot about your football program that you're like, we got to get the point guard from Duke to come be our
Duke.
quarterback. Mike Paulus went to Carolina, so I
Oh
watched it.
man, is that it? Let's do shout outs, closeouts. Let's just say that's it. That's got to be it.
That's got to be it, Jim.
No, that's good enough. Is there anything else?
I
you
mean,
wanna
not
talk about?
not anything major, honestly. I mean, this has been a nice hodgepodge of a day. I feel like we're getting to the dog. We're ending the dog days of summer, and then we get football. So
Man, how's your summer, by the way?
I mean, it passes.
Yeah.
It just keeps
It-
going.
it
I feel like I'm in
existed,
2020 part 2 in 2021.
What would you say? So entering the pandemic, March 2020, there was in the intellectual community that I run in, there was this idea that you should use this time to better yourself in some way. You should learn a skill. You should
Yep.
get in better shape. You should do. I don't know. Fill in the blank, Tate. We should do not let this time pass and come out of this pandemic worse off than when you entered it.
Yeah.
What is the one thing you would say that you're bettering yourself at?
We kept doing podcasts the entire time. You know what I mean? There were no days off. We just continued to podcast. I continued to work.
To grind.
And
To grind.
I never have stopped.
Yeah.
And podcasts never stop. I haven't stopped doing podcasts since 2015. Literally. 6 straight years of being on the air. It'll drive you insane.
Be careful.
So I think the main thing that I would say the pandemic for me is just trying to stay sane enough to continue to do podcasts during the week, you know? Because
That's the skill you've learned.
no, that's not even a skill I've learned. It's just like the maintenance that it takes mentally to stay engaged with things when it's all, you know, like, you know, it was very much a Stan Marsh, you know, when everything just turns to poop in his life, you
Yeah.
know? That was pretty much the pandemic for me. And mentally, you just had to figure out different ways to not trick yourself. Trick yourself's not the right word, but to get engaged, to find little moments of joy, to
I
watch
gotcha.
some shows that I had never really engaged with and enjoyed. You know, I rewatched a lot of shows. You know, I pretty much watched everything that ever came out at this point. It's a sickness, but I also, I rewatched Larry Sanders. I'm like, this is so good.
Great show.
Great show. Life and
When I
Times
was-
of Tim. Great show.
My Larry Sanders. Every time I think of Larry Sanders, I got a Pavlovian response to Costco chocolate cake, and the reason why is because when I was at the fat period of my life, when I was very fat, I would go to Costco. I would buy these sheet cakes. This is this might be I don't know. Maybe I should spend a day hashing out the top 5 fattest things I've ever done in my life. This will certainly be on the top 5. I would go buy a sheet cake from Costco, just leave it in my fridge, and just randomly like. It was when I was binging the Larry Sanders show. I would just like stand next to the fridge, and I could see the TV through the living room. And I would just sit there with a fork. I wouldn't even cut slices. I would
just eat the cake whole. I think that's like the fat move is when you don't cut the cake. I think that's when you know that you're just I'm too deep.
And I was so lazy. I wouldn't even wash the forks. I bought 400 plastic forks from Costco too.
I kind of respect. And there's like an old fork in the cake. You're like, oh yeah, I forgot I left the fork in there.
I would eat like 5 bites and throw it away. And then oh my god, dude. So that's what I think of Larry Sanders. And I was binging the Larry Sanders show. I was watching like 6 episodes a day.
My plan like you said, my plan when this all happened, I was like, I'm going to read a book. Like every 2 weeks, I was going to read a book. I've read like 5 books during the pandemic. I have not read a book every 2 weeks. The math does not add up. But I'm still proud that I read, as much as I have read. And then I also was going to get in shape. But I did not. So, that's
mental health check for everyone listening.
Mental health check. Yeah. Check in with yourself. Like I said,
we
don't trick your brain, but like mentally take a second, rest, relax. Just sit there with your thoughts.
Unplug, unwind.
Don't think about the past. Don't think about the future. Think about the present.
It's very zen of you.
That's what you have to do. It sounds stupid. But think about how many times you sit down and actually just sit there and not think about what you have to do, what you just did. I know I never did that. That's why I had terrible anxiety.
Yeah.
But I've tried to breathe.
Dude, it has been tripping me out because I have in all seriousness, I have been like seeing a lot of reports of like teen depression is through the roof and like all this stuff stuff going on, and it bums me out because it sucks. Don't so mental health check for everybody.
Mental health check.
Take care of yourself.
Enjoy what you enjoy.
Take care of your mentals.
Get your chickens together, and then also just listen to some music. Music will help. Music will take you to a different world.
Is that your thing?
That's my
music.
Thing. All right. Let's listen to music.
Mine is just like go outside.
Yeah, that's nice.
That helps.
Yeah.
I have a few things I wanted to say before we leave. Number one, my father, who I would up until last week, I would stick my neck out as this man maybe being this country's preeminent Little League World Series expert.
Yes.
He watches all of the lead-in games to the Little League World Series, all the regional. He's not even watching the regional finals. He's watching the regional.
He knows
first
these
rounds.
teams. Like when the teams start playing their first game, somehow your dad has a scouting report.
He knows everything about all these teams. He watches. I don't get it. I don't know why. Don't know how it happens. I think it might be my hometown. Browns, as I've said before on the show, we went to the Little League World Series back when I was younger. I wasn't on the team, but maybe that like stirred something in him where he's like, yeah, I like watching the.
How could you not like it? It's fun.
It's a great event, but the point is, on this show last week, I relayed my dad's information that Tennessee was the team to beat. Now, the update here, Tate, is Tennessee was the literally the first team out of the tournament of the Little League World Series.
Are you serious?
They were immediately eliminated. And my dad said they're the favorite because they have this kid that's unhittable. And he's like, I love it. I should walk it back a little. I don't know if he said they're the favorite, but he said this kid is unhittable. They are going to, I really, really like them. And they are the very first team. Yeah. So I reached out to my dad for comment, and you know what he said? Mickey Mouse tournament.
He did? Good. Honestly, I believe it. I thought he liked Tennessee because of Belmont. I thought he was just like, he had all of his chips in Tennessee. He's like, I'm just a Tennessee guy.
He just wants to move to Tennessee.
Yeah, he's like, I love Tennessee. I want to go to Nashville.
That could have been it. He could have been, if Tennessee had jerseys that said New Jersey, maybe he's not buying in.
Yeah.
But he bought into the Tennessee.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
But the other team he likes, which I fact-checked this, he was high on Tennessee and Hawaii because you remember I said the Hawaii had the pitcher that could throw with both arms and whatever. And I guess Hawaii is like steamrolling everybody right now.
Okay, good. So he was right about Hawaii.
Hawaii's played 2 games. They won 9-1 against Connecticut and 11-3 against Nebraska.
Oof.
So they're looking sharp. California's looking good too. 10-2 and 9-0.
California, I mean, some great baseball programs in California, whether it be Cal State Fullerton, Long Beach State, I mean, UCLA, of course.
Yeah. It feels like we're getting a California-Hawaii final.
Sounds about right.
Never
Giancarlo Stanton, Notre Dame High School.
I was going to say
California's got some great players.
2 more things. Number one, Sister Jean is 102 years old. Happy birthday, Sister Jean.
Oh my gosh. I feel like she
102 years old.
has like. I feel like I've celebrated her birthday at least 4 times
Every year
during
it
the
feels
pandemic.
like. It feels like every year we celebrate.
I'm
the
saying
same.
like in the pandemic specifically, I have celebrated her birthday at 4 different junctures.
Yeah.
And I don't understand it. This is all PR. I need to see her birth certificate. Show me the birth
This is a
certificate.
great point.
Like, how old are you actually?
She's got a Phil Knight situation going on
Yeah.
here where like the PK80
Yeah,
is
when
in
is the
November.
actual birthday?
The birthday's
And when are we
November.
celebrating? Because you tell
Who
me
is
and I'll
it?
do it once.
Whoa, is it the Queen that has 2 birthdays? Do I have this right? I don't know why I keep looking at Jim like anytime I have a question.
honestly,
like, as though Jim would know that.
Yeah, no, I mean,
I think the Queen celebrates 2 birthdays.
I mean, she
the Queen
should.
of England.
She's a queen.
Does the same thing.
I would too.
Where there's like the royal, because there's like a birthday that's like this is the Queen's birthday. The Queen being not a person, but like
The
throne,
entity.
the
Yes.
entity, and then this is the actual human being who, or
This is when she was
maybe not
born.
a human, but the lizard wearing human skin. I could say that about the Queen. We fought a war for me to
Yeah, I
have the
know.
right
Yeah,
to say that.
USA. USA. That's why people
Anyway.
were upset with me that I didn't pull for England. Like, you know, during the World Cup, they're like, "Why wouldn't you pull for England?" I'm like, "I'm off that. Like,
Yeah.
I'm an American. Like, we."
But then we can't pull for Italy though in the final. That's what threw me off. Is like people were like, I'm not pulling for England because we fought a war
I
against
pulled
them.
for France.
Like the 2 reasons I saw were like, I'm not pulling for England in this title game because England is racist
Yeah.
and we fought a war against them. I'm like,
Facts.
buddy, you should probably read up on Italy. Probably read up on Italy if you're going to cheer for Italy. Finally, last shout I want to give is Andy Katz. Last show I
Yes.
made the point about the G League. The G League is the one league in this world that no one wants to be a part of.
Yeah.
And I couldn't remember who told me that. And then it dawned on me as I was driving home. It was Andy Katz. Andy Katz. He might have said it on the show, to be honest with you. So I felt like an idiot. I felt like a real boob when I
Yeah.
got home, and I was like, "Damn."
But also,
How
that
could I not
feels
remember
that
Andy
feels
said
like
that to me?
eons ago that Andy Katz came on to give us his off-season top
Yeah.
10 storylines.
Yeah.
And that was still in the
Should get
off-season.
Andy back on.
We gotta get Andy back. We need Andy back.
Maybe we will, honestly. Should we?
We're close.
Thursday.
We're close to real basketball. We're close to more stories, and also we gotta still wait on Emoni Bates. We have to react at some point to
That's
Emoni
true,
Bates.
dude. We're not done with
We're not
Emoni
even
Bates.
done with Emoni Bates. And that's why I feel like it's dragging on.
All right, well, that's it. Tune in later this week when we wish Sister Jean another happy birthday
Yes.
and talk
She's
about
turning
Emoni Bates.
103 on Thursday.
We talk about Emoni Bates. See you guys then.